Guys, we're doing a house call like I mentioned in my last video, and I'm kind of running late, so I need to be very quick to pack up the station and make sure that I don't forget anything before leaving the house, because this time I'm going a bit far, so if I forget anything it will be a problem. So let me pack up the station. Also, it's a challenge to record both for like Instagram, TikTok, and for YouTube, because they use portrait and YouTube is landscape. So I'll try and get as many clips as possible, or maybe try and compile the vertical videos into one, but we'll figure it out.
Chague kamati hii. Wiki inayokuja tutachagua kamati nyingine. Inayofuata watatuambia.
Remember how I said that I was running late at the beginning of the video? Well, I actually got there on time, because the session we had planned for it to start at around 11, and I got there like around 10. So I got there on time and had enough time to set up and make sure that I got the stencil sizing correct, which I ended up getting in the first try, which is a big W, because I could just focus on the work rather than figuring out the size. Yes. Hello. It's the next day. Yesterday I came back on a bike in the evening. We didn't finish the first session because ideally we should have been done with the outer part yesterday, but she had another appointment, so I'm going to finish that today and then do the piece on the arm. So I'm about to take another bike. Feeling adventurous. Also, it's because I want to get there early so that you can have at least a full day. And if I don't take a bike, then I might spend too much time on the road. So I'm not a huge fan of bikes, but sometimes just have to do them because of the convenience and how fast they are. So I'll show you guys. I'll try to record. Also, when I'm on the bike, I'm a bit afraid to record because I might drop the phone or might get stolen. So there's that also. But it was a successful session nonetheless, and I'll show you where we got when I get there to see my client. Also, my phone is at like 5%, so hopefully it doesn't die before I pay that rider, because otherwise it would be a sticky situation, needless to say. We are here. This is the station. Like, we were working on the balcony yesterday, and these are the views. Look at that scenery. Green, and actually I was able to pay the Uber guy because my phone was at like 2%, but it was able to make the transaction. So that's good. I'm about to set up for the station and get ready for today's session. We have a long day. Hopefully get everything done. This was the result of the first day. You can see I did the majority of the lion and outlined the main, because like I said, we weren't able to finish, but this was the final result of the lion cover up. Turned out really well in my opinion. We took a 10-minute breather and then I was on to the next piece, because remember I said I was doing cover-ups in 2 cover-ups. Actually the plan was to do 3 cover-ups in 2 days, but we were able to manage to do 2. So the second day, this is what I did. Printed it out, made sure that the sizing was correct. And if you pay keen attention, you'll see that it was a cover-up of a cover-up. So the best course of action for me, I decided to go with a black peony. I think that's the pronunciation, because I knew that doing anything that didn't have that heavy black would be a problem, especially because it was a cover up of a cover up. So that's what I went for, that black peony, something that has that aesthetic appeal while making sure that I could hide as much as possible of the initial tattoo. So that's what informed my decision to pick the particular subject matter. At this point in the tattoo, I was actually quite exhausted, but we managed to push through, although we are not able to complete it because it got to around the elbow ditch and my client was in pain. So we decided that we would have another session to do the final cover up and to do that part on the elbow ditch. Top of the morning, I came back yesterday from the house call at like, I want to say at 10, and I didn't even bother to unpack because I was just exhausted. So I just put my things, and you can see even my shoes, left them there. Then I figured I would unpack and prep for today's session because I have another session. So I have to unpack. I haven't even drawn the stencil for today's piece, but I have the idea already. So I want to do that, make the drawing before my client arrives, and set up the station. So yeah.
We're thinking about after this, especially. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn it up. No, I see. You know what I mean? And I feel like if the world had more of that, like damn near, I want to damn near start a channel where it's like, yo.
Since I was working towards a sleeve, I decided to go with that line work look for the flowers because that's what we did on the outer part. So in the effort to make everything seem congruent, that's why we went with that line work effect rather than realistic shading for the flowers.
She's back doing music.
I took out my shade to go.
Nah, your wish has come true.
So we had a successful session. Actually ended earlier than I thought. I did this lower part. I'll insert the B-roll clips, and it was a cool session. Got to do this cool flower with the liner. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing this part. I'm still debating on whether it will be enough, like doing these flowers only, or I need to add another flower because today we left it off at here and there's a bit of space actually. So I'll try and scale up the image and see how big I can make it without making it unnecessarily huge, and then I'll figure out whether I need to add another flower to make the composition make sense. But I'll do that tomorrow because I want to sleep early today, and I'll wake up early also so that I can have that prepped and ready for when she gets here.
Kametoka.
So acha tuone nitahila aje.
That was the script. And I saw it later on when the first one.
Apologies for the camera angle. I actually didn't know that I was obscuring the view. That's one of the challenges of not having a camera person, because I just press record and let the time lapse roll, because moving the camera around would be too much of a hassle and I would not be able to do my job effectively. So I place it at a particular point and just hope for the best that I'm not obscuring the view, but that's not the case for this time because I was in front of the camera.
This is politics. People can say anything.
According to my client, that area wasn't that painful. After the session, she told me that she had anticipated it to be way more painful than it was. I think it's because we already did both of her legs. So comparing the leg pain to that of the inner bicep, she said it was almost like nothing. Like she didn't feel anything. For the most part, she was asleep actually. This was the final result of the floral sleeve. I like how it turned out, honestly. This was my first sleeve, like I'll talk about later in the video, but I like how it turned out, and I'm super excited to see how it heals and how it will hold up over time.
Fight someone where if you win, you won against they call them odds. Brian, have you ever wanted to chat or something?
You're probably wondering why I'm all suited up. It's because I was doing a touch-up session earlier on. I was doing a touch-up on a tattoo I did about 2 months ago. It was on the knee, and he came in for the touch-up and we did it. Hopefully it sticks because that area can be a bit challenging. So that was what I was doing today as I prepare for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session is not a complex piece, and that's when I'll end the vlog and start vlogging for the other week. So see you guys tomorrow when I set up for the station. Small cameo appearance from the guys. I haven't shown them on camera for a while, but they're still surviving, if you are wondering. And see, they're still thriving. Also, yesterday I got this. Don't mind the mess. Yesterday I got this. They're pens that I use when, let's say, I've lost part of the stencil and I need to draw onto it. I use these pens. I like them because they look like this, like they have that blue color, which is almost similar to the purple of the stencil. So these are what I prefer to use. Also, they have this tip if you want something more fine for the detailed stuff. So I had to go and restock, and I uploaded some videos of me doing that. I was in China Square. I also saw some tattoo stickers which I found were interesting. I wanted to purchase them, but I didn't want to stick them onto my skin, so that's why I didn't get them. But it would be a cool video idea to test them out and see how long they last. Most of them are like sleeves and stuff, so I'd be curious to see how long they last, and they claim to be waterproof. I would be interested to put them to the test, but not now. Also, I've turned this image because this is the tattoo that I'll be working on tomorrow. I'll be doing it somewhere on the arm, and to me it makes sense for it to be aligned this way rather than the other way. I don't know whether it makes sense or there's no difference, because essentially it's a star, but I feel like this is the right orientation. But we'll figure out with my client when he arrives. So I've already drawn the stencil. It took about 20 minutes or so. This is the design I'll be working on. It's just packing black, and even when I'm doing such pieces, I like to draw out the stencil, like hand draw them. Some people prefer like printing it out like this, but for me I prefer the other way, just hand drawing it. It gives me that personal feel for some reason, so that's why I do it. Also, I think after testing out my the brush thickness, like I was talking about, nowadays I use the 2.5, as you can see, and I can say that I've noted a difference in terms of the quality of the print of the stencil machine. So I'm about to make even a video talking about how I think using a thicker brush will make you get better stencils, and I think I'll post that on my TikTok and IG. But I've been doing this for the past, I want to say, around 5 tattoos, and I can definitely say that nowadays I get solid stencils every time that I print, and the main thing has been changing the thickness of the brush. So it definitely makes a difference for sure. Guys, it's Tuesday, so this is going to be the outro for the video because I need to edit it and then post. But basically that was my week. Pretty interesting. I went for the house call, I did the cover-ups. They turned out well in my opinion. I also did what else? I also did the sleeve. I was able to complete the floral sleeve, and I got to see the healed octopus. That's about 4 months healed, and the outer part it's healed about, I want to say, 9 months. So we did. So after doing that, I was able to connect the outer part and the inner part. So that's a complete sleeve. I haven't completed a sleeve actually up to date. That was the first one because the closest I got was a 3/4, meaning this outer part and this part. People are afraid to get the inner bicep done because it can be a bit painful. So I have, I want to say, 3 sleeves, which I haven't done the inner bicep, so I can't count them as complete full sleeves. But I've done 3/4. So we did that, and then today I did the star. I didn't record that much footage because I didn't think it would be that interesting, so I didn't record. Plus I knew I had footage from the previous days. Also I went and restocked the pens like I showed you guys, and as I was going there I did my signature walks, which I used to do back in the day, like I want to say 2024. I used to walk around 2 hours, so that's about 15k steps. I used to do it that daily because at the time I didn't have the funds to join the gym, but nowadays I sprinkle the walks in between my gym sessions so that I can have that bit of balance. That aside, that was my week. Pretty interesting. The coming week, starting tomorrow, which is on Wednesday, I'm expecting to do an outer sleeve. I've reached out to the client to ask for the confirmation. I'm still waiting on that, but hopefully we get it done. The outer sleeve, it's a floral sleeve also, and yeah, stay tuned to see how the next week goes. Hopefully this was more interesting than the previous vlog that I posted for last week.